Every witch I've ever coached has said some version of, my money situation is chaos and I've got no idea why. And then they pull a few cards and suddenly the pattern is sitting there plain as day. It is rarely dramatic. It's usually something they've been repeating quietly for years without realizing. And once you see the pattern, you stop fighting shadows and start working with something real. That is what we're diving into today. Hello, I'm Carla-Jayne Hollingworth, the Practical Magic Coach. I help witches and intuitive entrepreneurs understand how their energy, their nervous system, and magic shape their money. Not in a fluffy, positive vibe tribe way, but in a grounded, self-aware, I finally understand how I work way. Most of the women who land in my world aren't confused about money itself. They are confused about the pattern underneath it. And once you see that, selling, pricing, showing up, resting, and receiving stop feeling like random emotional storms. Okay, let's map this out. I see the same 3 money patterns again and again. And honestly, I've lived all of them myself. Some on repeat and some with a little bit of flair. Let's walk through them like real people instead of just abstract concepts. Number 1 is the overthink, stall, and panic cycle. This is the let me think about this for the rest of my natural life pattern. It starts with good intentions. You want to make a smart choice. You want to feel prepared. You want to get the timing right. But the more that you think, the less clear it becomes. The more that you analyze, the uglier the pressure gets, until suddenly you are backed into a corner making decisions purely out of stress. It's not a money problem, it's an energy spiral. Number 2, people please, undercharge, burnout. This one can run your whole business into the ground very quietly. You do care deeply. You don't want to be too much. You want to make sure everyone feels supported. So you go soft, then softer again. And before you know it, you are spending hours delivering work that should have been priced at double or triple, whilst wondering why you are exhausted and resentful. The pattern here isn't generosity, it is self-erasure. Number 3, hide, hope, resent. Also known as the maybe if I don't say anything, everything will magically work out phase. You hide because you are overwhelmed, scared, or unsure. You hope the offer sells itself. Then nothing happens. The silence stings like a bitch. It's not laziness, it is self-protection wrapped up in self-sabotage. And it still ends up in frustration. These cycles are familiar not because witches are flawed, but because intuitive brains tend to carry old stories, subtle fears, and nervous systems that react faster than logic. This is where tarot becomes incredibly helpful, not for prediction, but for reflection. So let's take a look at a 4-card spread that shows the cycle that you're in and how to shift it. This spread is very simple, honest, and cuts through the noise without attacking your self-worth. So you're pulling 4 cards. Number 1, what cycle am I repeating? This gives the theme: avoidance, fear of judgment, overthinking, overgiving, perfectionism, hiding. It shows the pattern, but not the symptom. Number 2, where did it start? This is the part that most people skip over because of pain or the avoidance of painful memories, or just that it hurts to take responsibility for the choices that you may have made out of fear. Sometimes the root is a past version of you trying to stay safe. Sometimes it's a moment you didn't even realize shaped you. And sometimes it's exhaustion wearing a mask. This card settles the why am I like this question without shaming you. Card number 3, what is fueling it right now? This card shows the present day spark, the habit, the pressure, the fear, the workload, the expectation, and the thought loop. It's the, right, that's what's feeding the beast card. And then number 4, what breaks it today? Not forever, just today. This keeps the shift manageable. A small action, a boundary, a reset, a conversation, a pause, or a decision. whatever your system can hold right now. This one card often stabilizes the whole week because you're interrupting an unconscious cycle instead of wrestling with it. This spread is something that I teach inside the Boss Witch Tarot School because it gives you real insight rather than vague reassurance. It is practical, it is honest, it is gentle where it needs to be, and direct where it matters. So let's talk about this in a way that doesn't make anyone feel defective. If you are neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, ADHD, sensitive, trauma patterned, fibro fatigued, or just easily overwhelmed, your money decisions are tied to your nervous system more than your logic. We are emotionally based creatures. And here is why the loops repeat themselves. Overwhelm can feel safer than action. Taking action creates visibility, and visibility creates vulnerability, and your system responds to it by keeping you in thinking mode because it feels less scary. Quick dopamine hits override long-time rewards. So refreshing Stripe feels satisfying. Yeah, been there. Thinking about rewriting the offer, not so much. Your brain isn't sabotaging you. It's trying to regulate itself with something it feels safe doing. Self-trust cracks create double checking. You know when you pull a card and then immediately pull another one just to make sure? That is not confusion. That is a confidence bruise. And these bruises leak into money decisions super fast. And then you get the launch, push, crash, disappear cycles. So your energy fluctuates. Your motivation fluctuates. Your spoons fluctuate. Your body has its own seasons. That doesn't mean that you are unreliable. It just means you're working with a pattern that wasn't built for traditional business rhythms. And you deserve tools that honor the way that you are wired. Tarot helps you observe the pattern without beating yourself up for it. So when you do understand that pattern, you stop repeating it out of habit. And when the pattern settles, your income naturally steadies. It stops becoming a roller coaster and becomes something that you can work with rather than fear. It is not about perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. It is about awareness. Awareness leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to better outcomes. Money responds to clarity, not to pressure. And tarot is one of the few tools that gives you clarity without overwhelming your brain. So if you're listening to this thinking, yep, that's me, I'm definitely in one of those loops, just start small. Grab my 5 ways to make money using tarot without going live for free. It is a gentle starting point for breaking the cycle without pushing your energy beyond what it can hold. And when you want to go deeper into understanding your patterns, learning to trust your intuition, and using tarot as a practical way inside of your business, that is exactly what we do inside the Boss Witch Tarot School. The link is below and in the bio.